Hi everybody, this is Blab Dad, and you see this book in front of me. It's called YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. And we are here on Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is Think Differently and Crush Conventionality. So what does that all mean? Well, this is what Casey Neistat says. Who's Casey Neistat? He is one of the top YouTubers on YouTube. And he says, if you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're doing it wrong. Let me say that again. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're doing it wrong. So what does he mean by that? Well, before I get into it, we are second to last chapter of being done. The conclusion is the final video, or not really the final video, but the final video of the actual book itself. So we've gone through, let me see now, how many chapters in Part 2 Tactics? We've gone through social media, discoverability, collaboration, trends and tentpoles, team. Now, as you can see here, Chapter 13, Think Differently, Crush Conventionality. And we are almost done with Part 2 of Tactics. I'm so excited because just by reading this super short chapter, it brings up not just some things that they talk about that you should do about thinking differently while you're on YouTube, but it really, really points out those YouTubers who make themselves stand out. So I've got my notes, so let's go through it. So Casey Neistat, he has over 9 million subscribers for vlogging, and the way that he does it is that years ago, and I watched one of his videos. One of his videos that he put out is called How to Vlog Like Casey Neistat. And I watched it, and it was pretty amazing for him to, as he first started out, a lot of people just did like point and shoots. They literally took a camera and pointed and shot at themselves. And people vlog from the morning they woke up all the way till the end of the day. And that can get a little tedious because, well, it's just like watching someone for the entire day. And people don't have a lot of time for that. So what he did is he used his cinematography background, and he made woo! Say that word 3 times. Cinematography. I just said it. Never mind. He put cinematography shots together by using what was most important, and it wasn't just facing. He put some other different types of formats. Maybe there was a background shot, or maybe he turned the camera a different way with different lighting. So he used all the different things you would normally see in a movie. Because when you guys watch a movie, if you watch it in the same tone, like right here, this is pretty boring, as you can see, as a backdrop. But if I turn down the lights, or maybe I get up close to the camera, or maybe my voice changes, or maybe I have a different emotion, that's what you see in a movie, not necessarily in something informational like this, where I'm just speaking to you plainly. So, because he's a vlogger, he used these different types of shots to have a lot of variety versus what other vloggers have done in the past. Now, a lot of vloggers do what Casey's doing. And so he had a weird setup of how he would set up his cameras, and everybody would be like, hey, that's different, that's weird, that's not gonna work. And all of a sudden he got him 9 million subscribers, and vloggers are like, hey, I like the way that he's doing it because he's getting, well, 9 million subscribers. But that's how Casey does it, and that's how he's different. So if you ever wanted to see someone really put some time and effort, it's Casey Neistat, okay? So there he is right there in the picture. Then the next segment says, stand out from the crowd. So this is a guy named Andrew Edwards. This guy used to be a pro wrestler, but now he's a tech influencer that he talks about consumer electronics. And he uses his wrestling background and branding as a wrestler, and he's turned that into what he's doing now in his YouTube channel. So if you know anything about wrestling, I love wrestling. Watch wasn't WWE. It was WWF and all those other WCW, all those other wrestling companies that I've watched throughout all the years. And one of the things that you see is that they have characters. For example, one of the best ones that I have is The Rock. So you see The Rock right here, and he always says, "Can you smell what are you thinking about?" or something like that. Anyway, that was pretty horrible. I do have a doll of him though that I need to pull out. I wonder where he is. Stay right there. All right, I had to bring him up. Here's The Rock. He's right here. I first saw this at Toys R Us, and I'm like, I gotta get him. You know why I gotta get him? And here's the reason why. Well, watching The Rock, there is no one in wrestling history who could talk smack like The Rock. So here's some of the sayings that he says. Oh, wait.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Hold on. Something's wrong with The Rock. Anyway, you heard it. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Well, this guy is just iconic in the way that he talks, and he throws some smack around. So anyway, I had to bring him out because that's one of the things that makes wrestlers stand out. Now, getting to Mr. Andrews. Sorry, I got off a Rock tangent because he's the man. Anyway, the world needs you to be fully you. So combine your experiences and personality quirks into something creative on YouTube. Now, I know I've got something special going on. Now, maybe not a lot of people do, but everybody has their own thing that they do, that they have within their personality, that makes them either be hated or likable or funny or whatever it is. That thing is your thing, and people tend to gravitate towards those things if they like those types of things. Anyway, there's a lot of things that got brought up. Anyway, so that's why just being you is important when you're in front of the camera like this, in front of YouTube, in front of all these people who are viewing you that potentially could be your subscribers. So there's this another young lady who, and I'm going to butcher her last name, Sarah Dietschy, Dietschy, and there she is right there. She did a parody about Casey Neistat. It was pretty funny. I watched it. It's just under 4 minutes, and it talks about how she tries to be like him, but she does it in a parody. And you know how many likes she got? She got over 1 million likes or views on it because of what she did to offset what Casey does versus what she does. It's pretty funny. Another one is Amy Landino. She has this YouTube channel called Savvy Sexy Social, and just by the words as she talks about it a little bit, it's a little offsetting from what the title is about. But there she is right there. I'm not gonna explain it. I'm gonna have you look at it so you understand what she's talking about. But again, in her own way, she makes what she does workable for her and makes you want to get drawn in. There's another guy called JP Sears. He uses his personality because he's Christian based, called the Ultra Spiritual JP. The Ultra Spiritual JP. And it's funny, he did this parody where he took different characters that he made up, and he did a shot of this person and then a shot of this person as if they're talking to each other, and it was pretty funny that how he edited it and put it all together like they're having a conversation. But that was only just 2 characters within this whole montage. I don't know, he had to have like 20-30 characters. It was a ton of characters, but he put it together in this one video, and it was pretty funny. So JP Sears, that's one of the other vloggers. Sorry, one of the other YouTubers, I should say. In the next section, it says, up level your uniqueness. So there's this one gentleman called Charlie, and he does something called Charisma on Command. Charisma on Command. And what he did is that he uses varied content formats. Now, what does that mean? Like in this particular scene, he'll use this particular shot. Maybe he's pulling a shot from what was done from a movie, or maybe from a character or an actor, and he'll pull that into the video. And as it's going on, he'll explain it. Then he'll cut out where he's not talking anymore, and yet the character or the actor's talking. So he combines different varied formats in order for it to be interesting. Now, one of the ones I pulled up, and I was scrolling, and then one of the ones I pulled up was called this: how to be more. Sorry, let me say that again. How to never be boring in a conversation. That intrigued me, and it talked about how Tom Hanks was the main focus of how to never be boring in conversations. And it was literally steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Charlie, who has his YouTube channel Charisma Command, went through the whole thing, and I couldn't stop watching it. I was intrigued. I was like this. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Tom does that. You don't even notice it until you're actually studying Tom and how he talks to people, how he engages people, how he brings people into the conversation, how he makes what's called a story gap in order to get you interested into what he's about to say. So it's a really, really engaging YouTube video with Charlie narrating it. So I really, really liked it. And so he's another person that has this unique way of putting out his particular product, but using a means of examples before he touts his product, which is pretty cool. As long as you're delivering the message you want to deliver, play with different formats. Like, I'm a new YouTuber, and being new, I only know of this particular format. I only have a smartphone. I just got this small little Akaso EK7000, as you can see here in the picture, and I'm learning how all this production, editing, setting up the right shot, how to talk, where to put the camera, how much lighting there is, what to wear, all that stuff comes together, and what makes the uniqueness of everyone's particular YouTube channel. I can go on and on and on. My daughters watch some particular YouTubers, and they're drawn in because of what they do and what they say. So anyway, let me continue. One of the best ways to think differently and discover your unique positioning on YouTube is to, is to scratch your own itch. Scratch your own itch. What does that mean? So when you're scratching your own itch, meaning, what are you itching to look at? What are you itching to look at? Like for me, I'm itching on ways in order for me to be successful, to have my YouTube channel grow by leaps and bounds with views and subscribers. So I'm itching to see what can I learn from other YouTubers and what videos can I watch. Same thing with whoever's watching their particular niche or their interest. So if you're thinking about something political, you're looking for those people who, increase your knowledge on the political scheme of things. Or maybe it's cooking, or maybe it's traveling. Whatever that is, you're itching to see what can I pull from what they do to make my channel successful. So Sally Hogshead says, different is better than better. How does that make sense? Different is better than better. So if you have something that's consistently the best, and you throw a different way of doing it or saying it, then it's better than what this was, because now people are more gravitating towards what this differently makes you interested in it. So again, different is better than better. And I love that, because there's always different takes on what either people say or do, or how they present it, and what may fit in the status quo of what people understand. It may not be something understandable or comprehension of that particular thing that they're talking about or what you see. So is there something different that can catch someone's eye or interest, then different is better than better. So one of the things they have is questions to help you find your uniqueness. Now, I'm going to pull this right here, YouTube Secrets. I'm going to page 173. There we go, 173. So let's ask these questions of you who are wanting to become YouTubers like I am. What is oversaturated in your niche? What small tweaks or changes could you bring something fresh to a topic that's already established? What past experience could you combine with your current passion to create a unique channel? What are your biggest strengths, and are you currently incorporating them into your YouTube content? What do family and friends love about your personality? Are you fully letting your unique personality shine through on YouTube? And lastly, what do you wish on YouTube? Is there some topic or niche that you personally would love to watch that you haven't been able to find? So asking these questions of yourself, can you make something different? What can make you stand out with your personality or your YouTube channel? And that's what I'm trying to do. So coming towards the end of my YouTube journey, going over chapter by chapter, this YouTube Secrets, as Sean and Benji have pointed out, it really comes to light that you really got to put the work in. You got to put the work in order to show, is your content likable, and is it viable for people who are watching it? Are you going to get the views? Are you going to get the subscribers? I'm not there yet. I'm not even close to being there yet. But I'm learning as I go. And if I have my unique personality, and one of the things that you've seen already through these videos is that I have my own way of dressing. I love fedoras. I absolutely love it. I love the way people used to dress back in the day. They used to wear suits and fedoras, and no, it's not modern, but you know what? I'll tell you what, they are slick, and it commands attention. And that's one of the things, when I started dressing like this, it put me in a different light. They're like, hey, look, it's Mr. T. So I used to be a substitute teacher before I became a full-time teacher. And what did I do when I went to substitute? Everywhere I went, students, staff, they recognized Mr. T because of the way I dressed. I had my own unique way of dressing and my own personality that I was very likable over all the places that I went because of how I carried myself. Now, whatever that means to you and your YouTube channel, whether you're a gamer or someone who talks about business or someone who is vlogging, you bring your own sense of personality and uniqueness to YouTube. And here's my start right here, with the way I dress. Anyway, here's the last thing I'm going to say to you on this short video that you can see down at the bottom how long it's gone so far. But anyway, you can either fit in or stand out, but you can't do both. This is by Seth Godin. Okay, so that is chapter 13 of Think Differently, Crush Conventionality here at YouTube Secrets. Again, we are almost done, folks, and I'm very excited to do this particular chapter just because of the things that I've said and the things I've even discovered as I was researching this particular chapter. So if you like what you see here on Blab Dad, you can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell, ding, and share. Share my videos so others can learn about YouTube secrets and my YouTube channel journey. All right, so the last chapter is conclusion here on YouTube Secrets, and that's going to be the next video. Okay, everybody,